Welcome to the chemistry class. Hope all of you are well in this COVID situation. And today I'll start revision, okay, of your pre-annual unit test portion. Today, specially I'll discuss some questions and answers from organic chemistry part. Okay. So our first question from the organic chemistry, some basic principle and technique is question number 1. How many different functional groups are present in given compound? So here one compound is given. Okay, I am drawing the compound here. Then you have to tell how many functional groups are present. This type of questions is very important for your exam purpose. Organic chemistry is mainly the understanding chemistry. There is some logic. If you can understand the logic, then you will get full marks and you will answer the questions very easily. So this is our compound. Okay. Now you have to tell how many different types of functional groups are there. So options are given: A 6, option B is given that 7 functional group, option C is given 8 functional group, okay, and option D is given that 9 functional group. So you have to find out how many functional groups are there. Okay, so you try. Now I am giving you the answer that this one is one functional group. This is called amide. This one is one functional group. This is called hydroxyl. This one is one functional group, that is called ketone. And this one is called sulfonic acid. And this one is the 1 degree amine. And this one is the 2 degree amine. Okay. So how many total functional group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your answer will be the 6. Hope you can understand. Okay. Next question I will go. Next question is given: how many rings or pi bonds are present in a hydrocarbon with the formula C6H10? So your question number 2 is there: how many rings or pi bond are present in a hydrocarbon with the formula C6H10. Okay, first you have to know the double bond equivalent formula. So you have to find out the double bond equivalent, which already I have discussed. Okay, it is already given in your book also. So the double bond equivalent formula is equal to that C minus H by 2 H is the number of hydrogen atom or monovalent atom like chlorine, bromine, iodine, halogen atom. Okay, plus N by 2. N is the nitrogen, total number of trivalent atom or nitrogen atom divided by 2 plus 1. Okay, now here in this C6H10, the number of carbon atom is 6, number of hydrogen atom is 10 by 2 plus number of nitrogen atom is here 0 plus 1. So what is the value here? That is 6 minus 5 plus 1, that will be 7 minus 5, that will be 2. So here double bond equivalent is 2. So how many rings or pi bond are present in a hydrocarbon within the formula? So definitely if we write the structure, then you can easily understand. The structure we can draw in this way also. So when we are drawing this type of structure, this is C6H10. So here the number of ring is 1 and number of double bond or pi bond is also 1. That will be your answer. Okay. And if you write some open chain structure, then definitely there will be 2 pi bond. Okay. Next question we will discuss. Next question is given, which of the following is a bicyclo compound? Question number 3. Which of the following is bicyclo compound? Option A is given this one. Option B is given this one. Option C is given this one. Option D, all of this. All of these. So your answer will be this one, because this is also bicyclo. Okay, here this is all bicyclo compound, 2 cyclic system is there, fused system. Okay, here also 2 fused cyclic system is there. So all are bicyclo. So your answer will be all of these compounds. Okay. Next question. Question number 4. Question number 4 is given, degree of unsaturation. Degree of unsaturation for naphthalene. Each dash. Okay. So options are given, A 6, option B is given 7, option C is given 8, option D is given 9. So here also degree of unsaturation can be calculated by double bond equivalent. So here also you have to put the same formula, that double bond equivalent is equal to C minus H by 2 plus N by 2 plus 1. So number of carbon atom here, if we write the formula, then we can understand its formula will be C6 and C10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is C10 and number of hydrogen atom will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C10H8. So number of carbon atom is 10 minus number of hydrogen atom is 8 divided by 2 plus number of nitrogen atom is 0 divided by 2 plus 1. So from here we can write that 10 minus 4 plus 1. That is 11 minus 4, that means 7. So your answer will be the B. So degree of unsaturation will be here 7. That will be your answer. Next question. Question number 5. What is the hybridization? What is the hybridization of each carbon atom of alene? First you have to draw the structure of alene. The structure of alene is like this. This is the structure of alene. Okay. Now here this carbon is sp2 hybridized and middle carbon containing 2 pi bonds, so this is sp hybridized, and the end carbon also sp2 hybridized. So this will be your answer. Okay. Next question we will discuss, question number 6. Hope you can understand. One compound is given. Okay. So here question is how many pi electrons contained in given molecule? How many pi electrons are contained in given molecule? Okay. So here options are given 6 pi, option B is given 8 pi, option C is given 10 pi, option D is given 12 pi. So here first we have to draw the structure properly, then you can easily understand. So total number of pi bond is here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So question is there, how many pi electrons? So 5 pi bond means 10 pi electrons. Okay. How many pi electrons are there? So it will be 10 pi, because 1 double pi bond, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 double bond is there. Okay. 5 pi bond is there. So 5 pi bond means 10 pi electrons. So these are 10 pi electrons. That will be your answer. Next, question number 7. Question number 7, one compound is given. You have to write the IUPAC name. Here bromine is there, here OH is there, chlorine is there, this one. So definitely OH is the principal function group. Here we have to put 1. Then we will write 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. Then what will be the IUPAC name? We require the IUPAC name. Okay, so it will be 2 bromo, 4 chloro, 3 ethyl, cyclobutanol. Here you have to write the whole name in a one row. Okay, it's a one word name that you have to remember. Next, another IUPAC nomenclature is given in the question, that CH3 is aromatic system, NO2 is there, and here bromine is there. So definitely this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and its name will be, IUPAC name will be 5 bromo 2 nitrotoluene. 5 bromo 2 nitrotoluene. Hope you can understand. Next question, question number 9. The number of ether metamers, the number of ether metamers. You know that metamers are isomers, okay, having different alkyl groups, both the sides. So metamers represented by the molecular formula C4H10O is option A is given 1, option B is given 2, option C is given 3, option D is given 4. So what will be the answer? The number of metamers represented by molecule, if you find out the double bond equivalent, it will be 0. So that means all are single bond. So we have to draw the structure. So this one will be the 1 ether structure, that is diethyl ether, and this one is the methoxypropane. This one will be one structure, and another structure will be like this, that is 2-methoxypropane. Okay, so here we are getting 3 structure from this compound. So these are all called metamers because both the side oxygen, both the side of the oxygen, different alkyl groups are present. Okay, so here answer will be the option 3. Okay, so the number of ether metamers represented by the molecular formula C4H10 will be 3. Hope you can understand. Next question we will discuss. Question number 10. Okay, question number 10 is this one. Here it is given D2O, DO minus. Okay, prolonged. So here we have to find out how many hydrogens are replaced by deuterium, okay, in the above reaction. So here this is the bridged hydrogen. This will never be replaced by deuterium, okay, because this type of reaction will not happen. This type of reaction will not happen. Only these hydrogens are the enolizable hydrogen. Okay, so what will be the mechanism here I am showing you, then you can understand easily. This one is one hydrogen and this one is one hydrogen and double bond O. So OD minus is abstracting one hydrogen, forming that negative H and double bond O. Then if we give D2O, definitely there will be addition of deuterium here. Okay, so again if we give the OD minus, it can again abstract another hydrogen is present. Okay, so finally by when you add D2O, so there will be replacing of 2 deuterium. Hope you can understand. Okay, so how many hydrogens are replaced by deuterium in the above reaction? Only these 2 hydrogens will be replaced. So your answer will be 2. Options are given 2, 3, 4, 5. Only these 2 hydrogen, not the bridged hydrogen, because according to Bayes' rules, bridged position cannot attain planarity. Okay, so this hydrogen is not ionizable hydrogen. Okay, only these 2 hydrogen we can replace by deuterium. That you have to understand. Next, question number 11. How many hydrogens in the compound given below are replaced by deuterium when it is second in D2 containing traces of hydroxide. Here structure is given this one. This one is one methyl. This one is one methyl. This one is double bond O. Okay. So here the hydrogens which are ionizable are these two hydrogen and this one. So total number of hydrogen, here is one methyl group. This is not ionizable. So total number of hydrogen will be 3. Already mechanism I have shown you. Okay. So here when we are giving that traces of hydroxide, that will abstract this photon, then it will be analyzed. Okay, suppose OH minus is there, that will abstract this photon and you will get negative charge here with one hydrogen, double bond O, CH3, CH3, hydrogen, and this will be analyzed. Okay. Now when we will add D2O, so this will again go back, and from D2O it will take one deuterium, and in this way there will be incorporation of deuterium. So here another hydrogen is here, that will be also replaced by deuterium, here also replaced by deuterium. So in this way total deuterium number of hydrogen replaced by deuterium will be 3. So how many hydrogens in the compound given below are replaced by deuterium? That will be 3. So your answer will be 3. Options are given 1, 2, 3, 6. So answer will be 3. Okay. Next we will discuss another type of question. Next question number 12. HHZ OH H. So above Gauge form stable. So the Gauge form is stable in, options are given when Z is equal to option A fluorine, option B OH, option C OCH3, option D all of this. So your answer will be all of this, because when we are putting in this Gauge conformation, okay, that Z is equal to OH, definitely there will be formation of hydrogen bonding, that will be stabilized by hydrogen bond. Hope you can understand. Okay, now here if we put fluorine, that will also be also can form hydrogen bond, and OCH3 also. So your answer will be all of this. Okay, so here Gauge form is stable compared to the anti form. Next question number 13. Here one compound is given. Okay, so here you have to write the IUPAC name. What will be the IUPAC name? So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total number of carbon atoms, sorry, this will be the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to find out the longest carbon chain. This side if we will do, here at the position 3 we are getting the double bond, but from this side we are getting the 2 position double bond. So we have to numbering from this side. Okay. Now what will be the name of this compound? Definitely this will be the 2 position. This is the cis. So 2Z. 2Z 4E. Because this one is the trans. Okay. Heptadiene. Or we can write 2,4-heptadiene. So already we are mentioning the position 2Z4E heptadiene. Heptadiene. Okay, that will be the name. Next question number 40. Here question is given how many geometrical isomers are possible. How many geometrical isomers are possible? Okay, so compound is given this one. Okay, this one is CH3, this one is hydrogen, this one is CH3, this one is hydrogen. Definitely for this type of spiro compound, okay, this CH3 may be in the same side, that will be the one isomer, and another isomer, this CH3 may be in the opposite side. Like this. Okay, so definitely there will be one kind of cis trans isomer. This is also called geometrical isomer. So the number of geometrical isomer will be 2. That will be your answer. Next question number 15. So we know about chiral compounds. Okay, so here one question is there, which of the following compound is chiral? Which of the following compound is chiral? Okay, options are given. Option A, option B, option C is this one, okay, and option D is this one. Now here you have to find out the chiral. So here definitely through this carbon atom, through this oxygen atom, there will be one plane of symmetry. So this is not chiral. This is also if we pass the plane to the that phenyl thing, okay, that is also not chiral. So here this one, if we rotate this one, that will be, I think, meso. Okay, but this compound carbon containing 4 different chiral center. 4 different groups. One is bromine, one is fluorine, one is chlorine, one is hydrogen. So this is devoid of any kind of symmetry. Okay, okay, like sigma, I or Sn. Okay, so definitely your answer will be this one. So this one will be the chiral compound. So which of the following compound is chiral? So your answer will be option D. Next, question number 16. Identify the meso compound. Identify the meso compound. Okay. So already we know that compound containing chiral center. Okay. When there is one sigma plane that can cut the molecule into two equal half, that one half is the mirror image of the other half, then the optical activity of the molecule will be lost. Okay, and this type of compound is called meso, and here options are given. Option A, this one, that HCl, ClH, CH3, CH3. Option D is given, this one, CH3, CH3, HCl, ClH. Option C is given, this one, and option D is given, this one. Okay, now you have to find out the meso compound. So first one, if we draw the structure, then we can understand. This one is Cl, H, CH3. This one is H, Cl, CH3. Okay, so definitely this is one active compound. This is not meso. Okay, but this one, if we rotate the methyl up here, so if we rotate this one, this methyl group at 180 degree, okay, then what you will get? So in this case, what we are observing, that here we can think about one sigma plane that will be that will cut the molecule into two equal half. Okay, so definitely this type of compound, so this compound is meso, that is 100% confirmed. Okay, and in this compound also there is no sigma plane. Here also we cannot consider any sigma plane because these are sp3 hybridized. Okay. So these are also the not possible. We cannot consider here the sigma plane also. Okay. So only this compound is the meso compound, that is cutting the molecule into two equal halves. When we rotate this two methyl group, will, if we take the conformation in the same side, that means here we are rotating 180 degree. Okay. Then we are getting this one. So this is the meso compound. That will be the option B will be the your answer. Next one, question number 17. Which of the following compound is dissolvable? Which of the following compound is resolvable? Which of the following compound is resolvable? That means here, suppose there is two compound having the receiving mixtures. Okay, if you can separate these mixture, okay, by different types of technique, then this is called resolution. Okay, if there is high energy barrier between these two enantiomer, okay, then they are resolvable. So here also options are given that you have to draw. I have to draw the structure, then you can understand. Here one is nitro and this one is nitro, and SO3H SO3H. Okay. So in this case, this is option A, and this one is passing through the sigma plane. We can easily pass sigma plane here. So this is not optically active. Okay. So this compound is not resolvable. Okay. Option B is given, this one. These are called actrobisomerism, biphenyl type of compound. Here SO3H, this one is NO2, this one is SO3H, this one is NO2. Okay, so this will be the answer. Okay, because here there is no actually axial chirality is there. Okay, there is no symmetry, plane of symmetry is there, and this molecule is optically active, and the two isomers will be easily you can separate. Okay, there is a high energy barrier, and this compound is resolvable. So your answer will be this one, and option C is given, this one. This will be not the answer. It will not show any optical isomerism. Okay, hope you can understand. Next question 18. How many planes of symmetry are present? How many planes of symmetry are present in benzene? So here we have to draw the structure of benzene, then you can easily understand. This is the structure of benzene. So first 3 sigma plane we can draw in this way. This is sigma 1, this is sigma 2, this one is sigma 3. Okay, another in between these two bond, this is sigma 4, this one is sigma 5, this one is sigma 6, and another is the molecular plane, that is sigma 7. So in this way we are getting total 7 sigma planes of symmetry. Okay, so options are given 3, 5, 7 and 9. So your answer will be 7. So total 7 sigma planes here. How many planes of symmetry are present? So you have to write 7. Next question is given that if S-glyceraldehyde has a specific rotation of minus 8.7 degree, okay, what is the specific rotation of R-glyceraldehyde? Okay, so you know the structure of glyceraldehyde. This one is CHO, okay, aldehyde, then this is CH2OH and HOH. This is glyceraldehyde. If they are telling that if S is showing that minus 8.7 degree specific rotation, so what will be the specific rotation of R? Options are given, that is minus 8.7 degree, plus 8.7 degree, 0 degree, and cannot be determined from the information given. So actually if it is minus 8.7 R, okay, definitely it will be the plus R 8.7 degree centigrade, because they are enantiomer. Okay, and here if one isomer is showing that plus rotation, another will show minus. One is called dextrorotary, another is called levorotary. And if you mix these two 50-50, then there will be no rotation. Actually, one 50% will rotate in clockwise and another 50% will rotate in the same amount in anti-clockwise, and these two each other will cancel. Okay, and finally you will not get any type of what? Any type of specific rotation. Hope you can understand. Okay, and this is called racing mixture. Next we will discuss the stability of cation type of questions. Next, question number 20. Which of the following carbocation is most stable? Which of the following carbocation is more stable? First one is given option A, that is CH3 CH2 plus. This is a primary carbocation. Option B is given CH3 CH plus CH3. This one is 2 degree carbocation. Option C is given CH3C plus CH3 CH3 is a tertiary carbocation, 3 degree carbocation. And option D is given CH3C CH3 CH3 CH2 plus. This is also a primary carbocation. Actually, carbocation stability will be explained by the inductive effect and hyperconjugation. As this one will be the most stable, as the 3-methyl group has 3 plus I effect, that is stabilizing the increasing the electron density to this carbon center and stabilize. As well as these hydrogens are called alpha hydrogen because of the hyperconjugation. There will be 9 alpha hyperconjugative structure, and because of this hyperconjugative structure, this carbocation C will be very much stable. But here, if we consider the number of hyperconjugation or inductive effect, here 1, here 2, hyperconjugation structure will be the 3 alpha hydrogen, here 6 alpha hydrogen is there, and here number of alpha hydrogen is 0. Okay, 0 alpha hydrogen. So that is why as 9 alpha hydrogen is there in case of compound C, that is tertiary carbocation. Okay, that will be the highest stability, that has the highest stability. That will be the highest stability. Next, question number 21. Question number 21. Which of the following is the most stable carbocation? Which of the following is the most stable carbocation? First one is given this one, CH3, here is plus. Option next is given this one, CH3, here plus is given. Next option C is given this one, here plus is given. And option D is given this one, here plus. So here also we have to look at the number of alpha hydrogen. So here number of alpha hydrogen will be 2 plus 2, 4 alpha hydrogen. Here number of alpha hydrogen is 2 plus 2, 4 alpha hydrogen. And here also number of alpha hydrogen will be 1, 3 alpha hydrogen. And here number of alpha hydrogen will be 2 plus 2, 4 plus 3. That means 7 alpha hydrogen. So as the number of alpha hydrogen is the highest, so this one will be the highest stabilized carbocation. Hope you can understand. Okay, so in this way you can find out the stability of carbocation very easily. Next, question number 22. Which of the following compound is not resonance stabilized? Which of the following compound is not resonance stabilized? Okay, first option A is given this one. Option B is this one. Option C is given this one. Option D is given this one. Yes. So now here this lone pair is there. Definitely there will be resonance. In this case, no problem. Here also there will be resonance. But this case there will be no resonance structure because this is the bridgehead position. Bridgehead position cannot attain planarity. If we draw the resonance structure, then it will be double bond, and here we will get the planarity. Actually, bridgehead position cannot attain planarity by Braid's rule. Okay, so this will be, there will be no resonance. Okay, but here also there will be resonance, no problem. So only this structure has no resonance. So which of the following compound is not resonance stabilized? Your answer will be the option C. Hope you can understand. Next, question number 23. Question number 23 is given: in which of the following lone pair of nitrogen is not involved in resonance? Here some structures are given and which nitrogen lone pair is not involved in resonance. Okay. Now here already we have discussed that here this dimethylene there will be no problem in resonance, so there will be resonance. In this case also there will be resonance, but in this case when the resonance will occur, then there will be double bond. Okay, I am drawing the structure here differently, and here also there is resonance. Okay, but only in this case option number 2, that this one. If you draw the resonance structure, then what will happen? That 4 bulky methyl group will come into the same plane. So this 4 methyl group will come into the same plane. There will be severe steric crowding. So this will not happen. So there will be no resonance. And this phenomenon is called SAR. Full name is steric inhibition of resonance. Steric inhibition of resonance. Okay. So when there will be resonance, this will be a single bond become double bond. When there is single bond, these 2 methyl and these 2 methyl may be in the perpendicular position, so there will be less steric crowding. But when there will be resonance, definitely the 4 methyl group are coming into the same plane. Okay, then there will be severe steric crowding, and that is very much unstable, so the resonance will not happen. So your answer will be this one. This one, in this case, there will be no resonance of nitrogen. Next, question number 24. Question number 24, some compounds are given here. You have to tell which one is aromatic. Okay, first this one, cyclobutynyl dication. Definitely it is obeying that 4n plus 2 pi rule, Huckel's rule. Okay, here n is equal to 0. Okay, that means 2 pi electronic system, and this will be planar system and stabilized by resonance. And this is this double bond is delocalizing, or this charge is delocalizing. Okay, and that is why this is aromatic. This one is aromatic. Option 2 is given. This one is cyclopenta. This one is cyclopropenyl cation. Definitely this is also 2 pi electronic system, and obeying the Huckel's rule, it is planar conjugated carbocyclic system, and this stabilized by resonance. And this the electrons, 2 pi electrons is delocalizing to hold the ring. Okay, here we can draw the resonance structures. Definitely it will be also aromatic system. Next option is given, this one, that is cyclopentadienyl cation. This one is 4n pi electronic system. This one is anti-aromatic. It is not obeying the Huckel's rule. Okay, there is a 4n pi electron system. Okay, and this is very much unstable, and this is anti-aromatic. This is not aromatic. Hope you can understand. And next, the last question today I will discuss about the dipole moment. Question is given, question number 25. Which of the following compound has the highest dipole moment? which of the following compound has the highest dipole moment? Options are given. First one is given this option. Option B is given this one. Option C is given this one. And option D is given this one. Okay. Now here you have to find out which one has the highest dipole moment, because here the bond will not break, because if this bond will break there will be one negative and one positive. Now this one is the anti-aromatic system, this one is the aromatic system, so that is why this will not break. But here if we break this one will be the aromatic system, okay, as well as if it is negative, both are aromatic system. So definitely this bond will break and definitely there will be formation of pole. One is positive, another will be the negative pole, and whole system is aromatic. So definitely this will be the highest polar compound, okay, or highest compound having highest dipole moment. And here also, here if we keep it here, so only this ring will be the aromatic, this is not coming in the aromatic system. And here also if we break this bond here negative one positive, one is aromatic, another is anti-aromatic, okay. So that is why this will not break. So only this double bond will break, and one side, that means cyclopropenyl cation and cyclobutynyl anion, okay, will be formed. And now this is a 6 pi electronic system and this is a 2 pi electronic system, both rings are aromatic, that is why it has dipole moment. And your question was that which of the following compound has the highest dipole moment, so this one is the correct answer. Hope you can understand. So in this way today I have revised maximum questions from the organic chemistry. Hope you can understand. Till if you have any confusion, you can ask question through your school query button, or you can send me the messages, okay, through WhatsApp. So today up to this, and next day we will discuss the physical chemistry part. Thank you everybody.